Great. Hey,
お願いします。
お願いします。はい。Sure. Up and down. Right. Side to side. Hey, you hit the shoulders. Circles one way. And circles the other way. Arms and back. E side and the other side. Cross, cross, and close. Right. Isometric. And tight. Ryoho. Tenchi. Yoko. Hey, down. Breathing in. Breathing out. You go. You go. Hey, Carl. Just that quick stuff with Carl. Someone was asking me the other day, and this will be also a question for you. Maybe come here so people can hear you. But Moreno will say sometimes when he asks us to do karao, which is our basic massage tapping, some people say that they were surprised that when he came last time or a couple of years ago, people were kind of hitting really hard and they were kind of going really vigorously, kind of in the tapping, and he actually asked people to kind of slow down, be a little bit more gentle, relax their fist, open the fist a little bit, and just tap tap a little bit gentler. So I guess that my response was, well, I think that if you go really hard, sometimes people tend to kind of close the fist, make no gap on the fist, make it very stiff, and just kind of hit. Versus another way of making the fist, which is giving a little bit of a gap, in the middle, like if there was a bit of air in the middle of the fist, and again keeping it very light, and then you doing the tapping. So the question was, why is that better? Why does a fist that is loose with a bit of gap is better than a fist that is hard and close? And I didn't really have like a quick. But I know that when you do, for example, shiatsu massage like that, you also kind of have loose fist, keeping your fist relaxed, semi kind of hollow in the middle, a bit of open. But what would be the difference between that, just a sensation on the body, or is there an actual difference of why to have a loose, open fist rather than a tight, stiff fist?
Well, I mean, for one thing, I just think for your arm, the idea is to relax a little bit. So I think that you tighten up your whole arm if you have a really tight arm, which is, I think you were sort of trying to say that. Yeah, I can't, it's a bit hard to explain, but I think it feels, I mean, I don't know, you can feel a little bit of a difference. It just feels different when you apply it. I don't know, when it's not so stiff.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how to describe, but even when someone does, if you do it to somebody else, yeah, it feels somehow, I don't know, but I'm not quite sure how to describe the difference.
Even if you did it to me,
Yeah.
if I was here and
Yeah.
you kind of started doing tapping on me,
Mm.
right? So one thing would be to have your fist, open and loose, and the other one, if you kind of stiffen it, and so that, for example, feels heavy and kind
Yeah.
of somehow kind of everything feels like you're hitting me, which I don't know. I guess that some people may like that kind of a bit hard massage versus a bit more of an open massage where the energy doesn't feel so concentrated in much speed, a little bit more expanding every time that you tap on the body. But yeah. So thank you. So but anyway,
I think that there's also just something about like the contraction, even with your breath, like that's what you were saying, like because we're just trying to get things more moving. Like when you stiffen, you contract, whereas when you loosen a little bit, I think the breath, it's almost like the cocu flows more.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right. So
Anyway.
thank you. Okay. So anyway, so the point was just when you do this kind of now, try to have those fists relaxed. Okay, semi-open. I mean, when I say semi-open, it's the difference between having the fist fully closed and tight and no space in there versus having it a little bit open with a little bit of it in there, and then allowing that little bit of a gap of the fist to also do the exercise. So keep your fists a bit relaxed, semi-open, and then just tap it from side to side. Cool. Each on one side with one arm. Again, relax your fist, nice and gentle. Now, something that is an interesting one with this one fist is at some point you will breathe in, and at some point you will breathe out. So maybe just to get a bit into tune with that, make sure to even relax a little bit more when you're breathing in. Don't tap too hard when you're breathing in, and tap a little bit harder when you're breathing out. Not too hard, but just increase the pressure a little bit. You're breathing in, you relax your tapping. You're breathing out, you increase your tapping. Okay, so the other side. You're breathing in, you relax your tapping. You breathe out, you increase your tapping. So try to match the intensity of the tapping to breathing in or breathing out. Okay. So Oh, your back. Sides of your legs. Inside of your legs. Side again. Inside. The back. And the front. Again, the back. And the front. Eesh. Oh. Your toes and down. Hey, breathing in, breathing out, in, out. One more, in, out. And your hips. Okay, open your legs, lower your hips. Remember, you can perform this exercise in a multiple ways. The idea to try to open your hips as much as possible. I'm always very fan if you have problems with your hips or grabbing some of those bands that you can hang on things, and then just use them to lower yourself. Okay, if you have an object that is sturdy and that you can hold like a pillar or a solid object that doesn't wobbles that you can grab and then just lower into it. And if you have a person, okay, sometimes if you have a person that can help you, where they put the hands out, they grab you, and then you lower yourself again, And then in this case, okay, I'm going to kind of really relax into my coccyx, okay. I can curve my back, relax into my coccyx, and then extend through my chest, get up, down, relax into my coccyx, okay, extend through my chest. So if you have a person or an object that can help you to do that, that's great. If you don't, well, then just by yourself, try to go down. But remember, at the moment, you're trying to open up and relax that hip as much as possible. So if you can do it on your own, that's fine. If you can't, try to find an object that can support you to do it. Okay, so opening one side. Oh, open the other side. Oh, again, one side. Now here, when you open on one side, use your legs and just push the knee down as if you were going for Shiko. Okay, and do Shiko once again. Shiko once again. And then you can do Shiko back. 1, 2. You may use your hands, open up, and move to the other side. Move to one side. You may have to use your hands. Pull your knee down carefully. Bring your leg in, like you would in Chico. 1, 2, and then go back. 1, 2. Open your leg back. Use your hands if necessary, and come back into your deep squat. So try to see if you can move from this idea of a deep squat into Chico. Okay, relax whenever necessary, wherever you need to stand up, and just relax those hips. Okay, and use as much support as necessary. Okay, what I mean support is as in put your hands to support your body as much as you need. Okay, so you lower, you open to one side, you put your hands down, bring your leg in, Chico. 1, two, and then coming back, one, two. Because you're in Shiko, your feet are together, so make sure to open your leg, allow some space, and down. Pivot to the other side, hands down, for your knees, feet together. One, two, backwards. One, two, make space with your legs, support yourself, arm up. So, one more time, pivot, support yourself, feet together. One, two, going back. One, two, make space, use your feet, up, down. Last one, pivot, support, feet together. One, two, back. One, two, open, support, up, sit, and up. Okay, got a little work for the hips in there, but important to be able to, if possible, to go from a deep squat into a Shiko position, or into a hip flexor stretch, and then into Shiko, and then come back from Shiko into the hip flexor stretch into the squat. Okay, and use as much support as needed. Okay, eventually, maybe if people who are very that their head, their health in their pelvic area, hips, and so it's good. May not need any support, but especially in the beginning, in the morning, and all of us, there's never shame in using good. What is important is to know what your body needs. That's possibly the most important thing. To not know how to support your own body is really the lesson that we're trying to work on. It's not so much to do things without any support. It's for us to know, how to help our own body, how to establish positions, posts, support levels that make sure that our body is safe. So that's lesson number one, and possibly that's the most important lesson. Doing it without support is not necessarily the most important lesson. It's learning to support our body in the way our body needs it. Okay, so open your legs side to side. And lowering one side, lowering the other. Close up. Change. Hands in front. Change. For example, this is another opportunity to learn to support your body. So down, one. Super flexible people be able to go down and put that knee into the floor without any support. But some of us may need to use our hands, support, put the knee down, and open the leg. So up again, support, the other side, opening, using your hands, support, knee down, and open. So again, support with your hands, up, and move side to side. Okay, it's down, and keeps down. Keeps back. Take a deep breath in, and breathe out. Stay in the same position. Take a deep breath in, breathe out. One more time, take a deep breath in, and breathe out. Coming forward again. So, Cobra keeps up. Slowly, downward dog. Keeps down. Slowly, slowly. Own the movement. Don't let the movement own you. Own the movement. Okay? Go back. Forward again. Keeps up. Keeps down. and back. And down to the floor. Open your arms. Relax your lower back. Relax your hips from side to side. So, relax from side to side. Raising one leg and scorpion to the other side. And down. Raising the other leg and scorpion to the other side. Down. Remember, the basic way of doing this exercise is to raise, depending how the condition of your lower back is. If you raise and keep your knee down, and then from that position you move, it's a much gentler movement than if you raise and then raise the knee and then shoot your leg down. So just be aware of what is your body capable of doing. Possibly the first few exercises, raise your leg, keep your knee down in touch with the body, and then in touch with the floor, sorry. And then from there, move your leg. Maybe after a few goes, you are going to raise your leg. Maybe you can raise your knee, and then you are going to move a little bit more. But it's a bit more of a demanding motion if you raise your knee versus if you lay the knee on the ground. So it's up to you. Just be careful with it, okay? Raising, and moving. Good side, raising, and moving. Down. One more time, raise, move. One more. Raise, move. So, and turn around. Up. Good. One leg towards you. So, down, change. The other leg towards you. Down, change. Again, one leg. Down, change the other leg. Down, both legs. So, grabbing your toes, raising your legs, and in that position, relax your lower back. Take a deep breath in, breathe out. Another breath in, breathe out. One more, breathing in, breathing out. And putting those legs down. And hip side to side. So knees side to side. Side, this side, 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 side. So turning around. Elbows. So. And pass. Hey, funakogi. Funakogi. Left foot forward, please. Left foot forward. Hands in front. Hips in front. And so. Yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh. So, out. Go. So, hey, right foot in front. Hands in front. Ish. Isa, 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 Isa. Hey, describing our basic external preparations. So number one, Soto Tenka. Sorry, Soto Mawaru, fully turning the leg, trying to make your movement as complete as possible, 180 degrees as possible. Sometimes, for different reasons, we don't complete the turn. So try as a basic idea to fully turn, okay, and then be in 180 degrees fully turn. So pay attention to that leg that is making the circle and make sure that it does 180 degrees circle and you end up finishing completely on the other side. Okay. So Totomawaru, each Totomawaru, Mawaru, 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 Mawaru. Okay. Continue, please. Mawaru. All right, so now let's continue trying to work on our isometric tension, and more important, not so much the isometric tension in itself, but the engagement of the core muscle. So this time, if you grab a jaw, okay, you're going to grab it in front of you, and you're going to grab it with both hands in the opposite directions. But what's going to happen is, and try to grab it, more or less close to the middle, but don't grab it too much on the side because then it's going to be really difficult. A little bit more in the middle, and then one side pulls in one direction and the other one pulls into the other direction. So my right hand pulls this way, my left hand pulls this way, by pulling them both, just creating some tension. And the important thing again is to, create that tension, make sure that the jaw doesn't go to the sides of your head or over your body, okay, that remains vertical in front of you. And in the moment of the tension, the moment where you have feel tension in your shoulders, engage your core muscles. Engage core muscles, and then sort of think. When you change to the foot, engage core muscles, sort of think. Foot, core muscles, sort of think. Grab, engage, core muscles, sort of think. Okay. Let's do one more thing. Try to have the jaw the longest side below, and try to have your hands in front of your face. Okay, so that tension happens there, which is the tension that is going to happen when you have your pana, with your own hand at the level of your face. So try to have your hand at the level of the face, pull in opposite directions, create tension, engage core muscles, and sort of anchor, and make sure that the jaw doesn't wobbles around or doesn't depart from your center of your face. So, yeah, and so on. Okay, so let's try to do that together. Okay, hand in front, H1, change, 2, change, 3, 4, 5, engage core muscles. Remember, don't overly engage shoulder muscles, engage core muscles. 6, 7, 8, 9, so 10. Okay, some tension created in that way. All right. So now we're going to do the same thing. Okay, but instead of going a full 180 degrees for a sotomawaru, we're going to end up doing 90 degrees. Okay, lower my hips and then move to the side for Joko Okuriashi. Okay, so we're going to turn 90 degrees in front of me, lower my hips, and Joko Okuriashi. Okay, so yes, let's just do Yoko Kuriashi first, and then we do Sugiyashi. But for the start Yoko Kuriashi, remember, so here 90 degrees, lower your hips, and the foot for Kuriashi, the foot of the direction you are moving is the foot that moves first. So in this case, if I'm moving in that direction, this foot is the one that is going to move first. Okay, and then the rest is going to follow. Okay, if I'm going to move into that direction, this foot is going to move first. So open in that direction. Okay, so Yoko Okuriashi 90 degrees. Okay, so up, create tension, engage core muscles, 90 degrees, lower your hips and open. On the side, tension, engage core muscles, 90 degrees, lower and open. Side, yeah, 90 degrees, lower, open. So 90 degrees, lower, open. That's 180 degrees. so, so we are here, okay, so we give them 90 degrees. So you just check your degrees. 90 degrees and 180 degrees. So depending how much your hand travels. So you're going to facing that way. Okay, 90 degrees, lower, and move. Okay, so reach, go, go. Reach, go, reach, go, reach, go. Go. See, we're always trying to see we have a resistance band, but sometimes resistance bands would be quite useful if you have again the problem with resistance band is they just have to be really supported. Like the classic problem with resistance band is that they snap or that they lose the anchor point, then the band comes and hits you really bad. So very common that happens. So, but if you had like a band that was attached here, and then you keep it in front of you, and then keep it in front of you, that would be a pretty reasonable exercise to do. That again is going to challenge you to keep an object that otherwise is in tension against your direction, to try to keep it in place. So that's a reasonable exercise to try to do. So yeah, so the bands, it just depends what you have available and how comfortable you are on the points of support that you may have. But for example, if Irena comes, hopefully Irena is a good point of support. Just stay there, grab it very strongly. So if I come here, I open and then I move down. Here is a good strong spot. I open, I move back. Okay, I turn, open, I move back. Okay, I turn, open, I move. Why? Because this tension is making me, is inviting me to lose it, to kind of go sideways and then drive from here. So my job is to keep it always in front of me and move despite that tension, just wanting me to go somewhere else, engage my core muscles and move. So the important thing with balance is always to have a reasonable point of support in any shape or form. Otherwise, it's a bit dangerous and it's not recommended. So we could be paying attention to that. So one more footwear that we need to know, and this is probably a good review of our basic footwears. One is Mawaru, okay, which is a full turn. The other one is up and Okuri, which is when you lead with the foot of the direction that you're going. And the other one is Tsugi, when you go up and then you lead with the rear foot, okay? And in any of those ways, people sometimes can perform basic movements like Ikkyo, okay? So, for example, okay, Aikani, okay, up and Mawaru, Ikkyo, which is the way that most people will perform Ikkyo. But also say it's very specific about going up, down, Okuri, Ikkyo. I left my hand a little bit behind there, for example, so don't do that. So, step up, 90 degrees down, and Okuri. Okay? But sometimes also, you can go up, down, and now Tsugi. Okay, which is when you move that inside foot first. So this time, let's practice Tsugi Ashi. So same process. Here, create tension, engage core muscles, 90 degrees, lower your hips. And now it's just a matter of which foot is going to move. If the foot of the same direction moves, people call that Okuriashi. If the foot that it is, the rear foot moves first, people call that Sugi-ashi. Okay? So let's move now in Sugi-ashi. So, turn, lower, so Sugi-ashi. Here, tension, engage the muscles, open, lower, Sugi-ashi. Here, turn, 90 degrees, lower, Sugi-ashi. Here, go 90, lower, please. Go 90, lower, please. More, go 90, lower, so, go, lower, down, go, go, down, lower, up, yes, go, lower, down, go, yes. So it's important physical literacy to be able to know how to do those three footworks, for example, for any Ura form or any form where we are moving on the back. Again, if nothing else, for physical literacy and for being able to identify with my partner. So if I do Ikkyo, for example, stepping in and turn, that will be my water wash. Okay? Or stepping in, open, lower, and exit with your right, with the foot of the movement, or Kuriashi, or enter, lower, down, and in the other move, foot in, no water watch, with Sugiashi. So remember, the difference both is Okuri, 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 Sugi, 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 Sugi. Okay, and it's good, and it's a good exercise, and it's important to be able to identify those three footworks in any Ura form. Waru, Okuri, Good. Okay, so you practice a little bit by yourself freely, okay, and see if you can identify those three movements, okay, in your basic Hura movements. Now on the Sugi, okay, Sugi, make sure that this hand is not left behind. But that's why the Sugi is more severe, because he's traveling, because the hand is traveling with the foot, which means the weight. But if you're not careful, you can go, and now this is a misalignment. Now you have to pull into position. So you do Okuri, hand in front of the center, move. Okuri, hand in front of the center, move. Sugi, hand move with the leg, and moves. Sugi, hand move with the leg. But remember, one thing with Sugi is the foot can just reach the other foot and then move. The foot can just reach the other foot and then move, or the foot can pass the foot and move. The foot can pass and move. Okay, so Tsugi-ashi, the foot can reach or the foot can pass. Now, what I'm saying to Irena is that in either way, the important thing is, which is also element of the thing that we're practicing, is that your hand and your foot move together. Hand and foot move together. If you're not careful, okay, your foot may move or your hand may stay. And then if that's the case, now you have to drag the person into position. So take your time to educate your body that if it's Okuriashi, your hand is in front of your center of gravity, and then you move together with the body. If it's Okuriashi, hand in front of the center of gravity, foot together with the body. If it's Sugiashi, hand moves with the foot. So wherever the foot moves, hand moves. Foot moves, hand moves. Foot moves, hand moves. Foot moves, hand moves. Okay? That's a very important element of alignment, regardless of which of the feet motions you are playing with. All right, let's finish up now, sitting down. What it was a Kokyuho. Let's just practice Kokyuho with a little isometric exercise. So in this case, you're going to have your jaw open a little bit, shoulder width apart, raising it up, pulling outside, like pulling the shoulder. You wanted to pull the jaw apart. So raising, pulling, engaging core muscles, and relax. Okay, raising up, pulling, engage core muscles, and down. Raise, pull, engage core muscles, down. Raise, pull, engage core muscles, down. Now remember, when you are practicing with your partner is coming from the outside, your hands are inside. So part of your job is to, make sure that he doesn't or she doesn't collapses your hands and pushes you in. So your hands keep a shape, which means they push a little bit outwards. Okay, but that slight push outwards, okay, not forceful outwards, just slight keeping the shape that doesn't collapse inwards. Okay, is supported, or mostly supported by your core muscles. Okay, so one more time here, raising up, pulling out, core muscles, and down. Here, up, pull out, core muscles, down. Here, up, pull out, core muscles, down. One more, up, pull, core muscles, down. Again, hopefully what we're trying to educate our body is that at any point where pressure is required in any limb area, that pressure needs to be supported, if not replaced, by the engagement of the core muscles, by keeping our structure with integrity, as opposed to having a floppy structure and then doing our best to push with our shoulders or doing our best to push with our leg. If the body has no structure, which is maintained by your trunk, your core muscles, your hips, then it doesn't matter how much you push with arms, it's going to be much harder job. Okay, let's finish up. Hey. Hey.
どうもありがとうございました。
Arigato gozaimashita. Thank you. Okay.